Welcome to Doug in Exile. Well, MSNBC, they're always the last to know. That's our running joke here. And here they're trying to figure out why Sununu does so well in New Hampshire, even to a point of beating Trump in the general.
New polling from one of those key battleground states shows that former President Trump still has a tight grip on the Republican Party. In the latest Emerson College survey, 58% of GOP voters in the great state of New Hampshire say that Trump is their preferred candidate for the 2024 Republican primary.
So this is just GOP voters in New Hampshire, which has a majority of Democrats voting. Got it? So the lesser amount of Republicans are going for Trump.
That is a 41-point lead over the second place finisher, Governor DeSantis. In third, with just 7%, is New Hampshire's own governor, Chris Sununu.
Sununu is considering getting into the race, but no one can pronounce Sununu. I did it.
But in a hypothetical general election matchup, Sununu is the only Republican candidate who could beat President Joe Biden.
Okay, we got to break this down because the CPAC numbers showed Trump getting 60% of Republicans over at CPAC. But here's what the mainstream Republican Party said. CPAC was had very poor attendance. Only 2,000 people came. So there was barely anyone there. So of course, the more MAGA Trumpy people would give him 60%. But it's not reflective of the rest of the country. Well, here you have in New Hampshire. I find it curious that Trump got 60% of New Hampshire conservatives and had similar numbers beating DeSantis at about 20%. Well, here they're saying Trump can't beat Biden, DeSantis can't beat Biden, and Sununu can beat Biden.
Sununu said earlier this year that he was considering a run for president, but has not officially jumped into the race.
Not going to win. You can't make it past the primary.
Considering the poll we just showed where Governor DeSantis, who is not a lesser name, who is widely considered the most formidable challenger to Trump, is getting crushed in that poll and many others we're seeing across the nation.
This is true that in the primary, DeSantis has a much harder time. Trump has a harder time in the general election, but DeSantis, his biggest thing is, can he take it from Trump? That's the only question.
I think a lot of this polling sort of mirrors the problem that Republicans had in 2022, where in primaries, a lot of these more, I don't want to say moderate Republicans, but maybe more mainstream, more establishment Republicans, like a Governor Sununu, for example, don't do as well in primaries, but they seem to be doing better in general elections. And that's going to be an issue for Republicans up and down the ballot.
This is another serious problem that Trump has. This is going across across all of the Republican establishment. This is why people in a way are putting all their hope in DeSantis. By the way, DeSantis could throw his hat in the ring and decide to run, and his numbers could just completely crash with the general population too. Just because they don't want Trump doesn't mean they want a DeSantis. We have to find a Republican candidate that they all want. Right now, Trump is in the lead. DeSantis is second. Should DeSantis get in? I'm Doug in Exile.